So let's get started. Let's just get right into the action since I clearly messed up the start of the stream. This is kind of spontaneous. Let's subdivide this cube a few times. Let's smooth it to death. Oh, and then I'm going to drag the chin down. This is just going to be a base for sculpting, so I'm not really worrying about topology for this. But this is something I wanted to do. I had this silly idea last night because it occurred to me that like we hadn't been planning any sort of thing to do for today, and I feel like we have a tradition on this channel to do something special, so I felt like this was a worthy project for this, don't you think? So I've got the basis of a nose. Alright, let's do some hair kind of related stuff. This needs to move down. By the way, I'm going to definitely make this model once I finish it, which is not going to be on this stream. But I'm going to continue to finish this model after this stream is done. And I want it to be modded into things. I don't care what it is, but this model is going to be one of the legacies that I've chosen to I don't know, exert upon the world. Can you imagine that though? Like if Nintendo actually made the CDI Zeldas in-house so that they were good games, but had the same general character designs, which, I mean, I guess the quality of the character designs is questionable by itself. What would that look like? Off to a bad start. Let's see. Which is what this deserves, right? Not quality. We have something that remotely resembles a neck now. Am I going to use any sprite inspiration? Probably not. There's not a lot to the sprites. They don't really resemble this particular artwork, which is generally what people think of when they think of, you know, CDI Zelda. So I'm probably just going to keep it to this. Might be helpful to actually block in where the ears are going to be. Let's just add another cube. Drag these. Cat Technicality says, I actually cried a bit after the, I'm assuming, Cadence of Hyrule trailer. It was surprisingly, I don't know, emotional, for the lack of a better word, to see an indie studio have a chance to do something like this. Let's bump up the subdiv on all of this stuff. In fact, I need to shade smooth all of this. There we go. So ears are going to be around there-ish, right? Let's go ahead and set a mirror on there too. Why not? Alright. Let's duplicate this for the sake of having another mirror. And then really change what's going on here. So scale. And then bring these in. Anybody familiar with Alex Hoyle, I believe his name is? He's a 3D modeler slash animator, and he makes these really humorous kind of takes on different characters. But his process or workflow is basically just creating a lot of cubes and then subdividing them to death, like really primitive shapes that are subdivided to create the forms. Look him up on Twitter, Alex Hoyle, Hoyle. But I really enjoy the really simple approach to creating forms. It's kind of, I don't know, irreverent, for lack of a better term. I see some people talking about how Frisk would work in Smash. It's a very good question. It's a valid question. It's something I've thought about a little bit, because I don't know why we're talking about Undertale at this moment, but the thing about people often say Sans would be the logical choice for Smash because Sans actually fights, whereas Frisk doesn't necessarily fight and very often just acts. And so I wonder if you could actually turn the dichotomy of fighting and being passive into a moveset somehow. But I don't know how you would do that necessarily, but it's a good thought. I'd be curious to see what other people come up with along those lines. So let's go ahead and start sculpting on this. Draw pixel perfect to the original eye. The eye's shape changes so much that it's kind of impossible to do that. Like, if you look at all these, it's all over the place. I mean, this one is sort of like flat at the bottom, but this one's sort of, like a 5-year-old drew it. And then there's this obvious, shape key kind of thing that I would probably do. If someone ever made a mod of this, that would have to be a shape key. That expression. Kind of hard to deliberately make something look like off without it being bad. This guy needs to have cheeks for days. Part of what makes the appeal of like the bad artwork in CDI Zelda is that the drawings aren't good, and when you're making something 3D and symmetrical, like it makes sense in space. Like in 3D space, it resolves itself by being a 3D model. So it's hard to capture that charm, if you can call it charm, of the original CDI Link. You just have to make it kind of gross in its own way. I could push the cheekbone. Whoa. That was pushing the cheekbone for sure. I want to kind of get these bags under his eyes. I think that'll help. This is very slowly but surely turning into like garbage art. I know it's probably not going to be that kind of thing until he's actually squinting, but I don't care. His profile looks absurd. Now it looks really gross. That's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want, right? All right, so I'm basically trying to just add a little bit of variety to the back of the hair. I think the nose needs to be higher. I think that's one way we can make this look dumber. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I don't know why I'm trying that hard. I think that's good enough for one stream, you guys. This was a disaster in the best way possible. So, I guess next time we're not going to be continuing this on stream. I am determined that if I'm going to finish this model, it's going to be off stream, off channel probably. But I think I'm done for now. I know it was a pretty short stream, like a little less than 2 hours. But I wasn't planning on streaming for long anyway. It's not a streaming day. Usually I stream on Fridays, but today was, April 1st. I had to make something of it, so unexpected stream. Hope it was somewhat enjoyable to watch. And you're gonna see more of this in the future. Not on the stream, but this model is going to be a legacy for me. So, until the next stream, which is going to be probably Rayman again, Hope you enjoy the rest of your April Fool's evening. Have a good one, everyone.